Tomar o 5? 6 minutes.
بدنا نوصل للإحصاءات إيه؟ Mike, is Mike good? Volume?
Muy buenas tardes. A pleasant good evening to all of you. Welcome to this third edition of On Point with Monchi. Bienvenidos a esta tercera edición de su show favorito, Al Punto con Monchi. Recuerden que estamos en Facebook, estamos en YouTube y también estamos en Power FM Radio, en la radio 95.5. We are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, and we are also on Power FM Power FM Radio 95.5. And please give us a like and share it. Por favor, denos un like y compartan este show, porque este es un programa para ustedes aquí que están con nosotros todos los lunes. Cambiamos el horario, como había dicho la semana pasada, que lo cambiaríamos y decidimos comenzar a las 8 de la noche en punto, y por eso estamos aquí a las 8 con ustedes esta noche. Así que muchas gracias una vez más por estar con nosotros aquí en esta edición Al Punto. Así que ahora vamos al Voz del Pueblo en su show favorito, Al Punto.
Mi nombre es Marlene Ortiz. En mazorca, tamalitos, mazorca con crema, con limón y chile, mazorca con queso y crema, chile. Y así con limón, solo limón y chile. Es lo que yo vendo. Estoy acá de las 2 de la tarde a las 6. Ya me pongo lunes, martes, viernes y sábado. Los días que yo me pongo a vender acá, ¿no?
Monchi for Orange Walk North.
The PUP in its first year will complete its NHI scheme that guarantees universal health coverage to all.
An amazing feature about the PUP health plan is for mobile clinics, where healthcare would come to the homes of our most vulnerable. I will advocate strongly for mental health programs and services across Belize.
The rollout of NHI for everyone is indeed a big deal. Our party's plan to manage the coronavirus and the effects of this pandemic is a big deal. A health facility for the residents of San Pedro, a part of my constituency, is a big deal.
Let us stamp out the corruption, the nepotism, and the cronyism in the system, afford our Belizeans good health services with good personnel and facilities, and make sure that medicines are affordable and we can have access to the primary health care and also secondary health care that is so needed in our country.
I cannot sit here and tell you there is no corruption in government, there is no corruption in cabinet. I won't do it.
There are lots of us who are criminal, but not all of us. Not all of us.
As a person who is a member of the United Democratic Party and as a Belizean, I have to put on record that I'm disappointed. So that in all honesty, any person who looks at what's going on, you cannot help but say, you know what? That is not what a decent Belizean would support.
There are lots of us who are criminal, but not all of us. Not all of us.
It is time to reject the UDP.
Welcome back to On Point. Today, I want to pay tribute to a very special person who has given great service to our country of Belize, the Right Honorable Said Wilbert Musa. By now, I think most of you or all of you know that that last week, the 8th of September, he retired or stepped aside from Belizean politics. And I would like to take this segment, to give him honor, to give him thanks, to express my personal gratitude to him for the service he gave to his country, to the people of Belize, and to the supporters of the People's United Party. Now, I know that most of you know at least some part of the history of Right Honorable Said Musa. So I do not want to get into a long ordered chronology of his life, telling you when he started politics, how long he has been in there, the ministries he held, the speeches he delivered, or the books he wrote. I think many of you know that or know a lot of it. I rather go into roam about than roam about in a maze of how I knew Said, the person, the man, the ordinary guy. After all, he's not dead. He just retired. He just stepped aside. He took the bench, for now at least. And I say for now at least because of an interesting time that he and I shared together back in 2014, when right after my father was murdered. My father was murdered in July of 2014, and 6 months after, in December of 2014, the self-proclaimed not normal guy sued me in court. Took out a lawsuit against me for some recording that he said I was involved with. And of course, I needed legal representation. I needed a lawyer. So I went to Said and asked him if he can be my lawyer, if he can represent me in court. And he told me, Ramon, he said, it's been years since I've retired from litigating and fighting cases in court. He says, but let me think it over. It didn't take long when he answered me and he said, Ramon, I will take your case. So we went on to trial, which started around July 2015. And then the trial ended, it culminated around October 2015. But yet no judgment was given. So now, today, 5 years later, the Chief Justice himself, the then Chief Justice, who heard the case, he has retired. I think last year or 2 years ago, he has retired. And he didn't even give judgment to the case, to the lawsuit against me. Yet, Said kept on working, kept on in politics, kept on being a lawyer. Until recently, 1 week ago, 6 days ago, when he announced that he will be retiring. So now you see why I say for now at least. So Said, this brings to mind that Said was known for his remarkable intelligence, his quick thinking, and his very sharp sense of humor. His wittiness. He is a very, very witty, intelligently witty person. One time in the House of Representatives, when they were debating, one of the guys from the other side referred to the honorable member from Fort George as being old, and he no want to get out of politics, and he done old. So Said got up and said, Madam Speaker, he said, I might be old, but I'm not tired. And, you know, that was his way, you know, of taking the licks in the House of Representatives, of brushing them aside. Another time, I remember the Prime Minister was fulminating against him, you know, railing up against him until he ran out of breath and he ran out of firepower. And then Said's time came to respond. And Said, during his discourse, Said told him, he said, "No, watch me." He said, "Watch yourself." And that became almost prophetic, especially now when we see that the UDP is in their dark days, their ship is sinking, everything is going upside down for them. And now we can see that probably Said was being prophetic when he said that. And that snippet, "No, watch me, watch yourself," became very popular in Belize. In fact, people started using it as a ringtone for their cellular phones. And also in the Caribbean, it became very popular. Another time in the House of Representatives, I also remember, again, they were attacking Said, attacking him. And again, he got up to respond. And he said, "You can say all these lies about me, you know, and I don't mind. You know, it's because everything is mind over matter." He said, "I don't mind and you don't matter." And that was another one of his quotes that made in the House of Representatives and that attest to his wittiness, his sharp sense of humor and his intelligence. Yeah, and Said was a person that came from humble beginnings. You know, he didn't come from a rich family. He came from a very humble beginnings. But as a youth, he seized the moment. He used his intellect to work hard and study hard in school and excel. And then he took the GCE exams in sixth form. That time it was GCE, I think it's General Cambridge Examinations. And he passed them. He did well in them. That is how he earned. He received a scholarship to attend school in England, and he decided to study law. He went to England, studied law, and he came back to Belize. And he came back with very progressive ideas. Progressive ideas, so much so that the neoliberal and colonial-minded oppressors regarded him as a radical. He joined the movement of UBAD, United Black Association for Development. He also, along with Asad Shoman, picketed the U.S. Embassy. At that time, the United States Embassy was in Belize City on Gabriel Lane. He and Assad picketed the U.S. Embassy because protesting against the U.S. intervention in Vietnam, which was the Vietnam War. So that was Said. You know, he was regarded as a radical when he came back from his studies. He was a very progressive thinker. Now, as a politician, as a minister of government, as a prime minister, he met very great leaders all over the world. He rubbed elbows with world heavyweight vanguards of social justice like Fidel Castro, Yasser Arafat, Ignacio Lula da Silva. And yet, he was a very ordinary person to everyone else. For example, if you would drive by or ride by or pass by Princess Margaret Drive in the mornings around 7 o'clock in the mornings during weekdays, you would see Said walking briskly, sweating, blowing, doing his morning exercise. And then on Saturdays, if you would go by New Road around 8:30, 9 in the mornings on Saturday mornings, you would see Said standing patiently in line, waiting for his turn to buy his meat pies. And he would be there chatting, conversing with people that were also in line waiting for meat pies. You know, when he had court cases, when he had to go to court, he walked from his office and walked all the way to court and spoke to the people along the way. And he was a normal person and an ordinary person, a friendly person. He is then. And that is who Said Musa, the person, is as I know him. And this is the tribute I wanted to give to him. And before I forget also, I remember one time, I think he was the prime minister. He was the prime minister, and there was an event, a Mother's Day event, and the news, one of the news stations made a story out of this Mother's Day event that happened. And part of that news event, that news item, showed Said dancing. It's the first time I saw him dancing. And I must say, Said, you've done your best. You've done it all. But I think I got you out on that one, on dancing. Although I'm not the best dancer. You know, so now that you're retired, I believe you have more time in your hands. I think you should practice your dancing a little more. So that is what I wanted to do, the tribute, thanking Said for his great contribution to our country, to the development of our country. He was a Minister of Education. He was also Minister of Foreign Affairs. And during his capacity, during his tenure as a minister in those ministries, Belize made great strides in the world. You know, in education, you know, he really boosted the literacy rate in Belize, tried to make education reach to everyone in Belize, even in the rural areas. He was very keen on ensuring that the people of the rural areas got education. Also in foreign relations, he made sure that he built strong bonds and strong ties with other countries of the world, you know, following in George Price's footsteps, you know, establishing strong bonds with other countries in the world. As Prime Minister, he made the economy grow as had never been seen before. You know, when he was Prime Minister from 1998 to 2008, there was I think an average growth of over 7% year on year when he was Prime Minister. Now compare that to where we are right now in negative growth at present. So he has done a lot for this country. He has given, I guess, most of his life to service to our country, to our nation, to our people. And I think it is just fitting and appropriate that I take this time to give him thanks, to personally thank him for all he has done for the country. And Said, I salute you. I thank you for what you have done. Please enjoy your retirement. You know, you have a lot of time. I know you're an avid reader. You love to read. Continue reading, or if you want to take a break from reading, well, it's up to you. It's your time. Have a long and happy life. have a long and happy life and a blessed life also. You know, I just wish you all the best. And I know that if any of us needs something, some advice or something politically, I know you will still open your doors to us, right? So that's why I said at the beginning, at least for now. So the thing is, thank you, sir, Right Honorable Said Musa, for your service to our country and our nation and our supporters of the People's United Party. God bless. And now, thank you all also for being here with us. And we're going to another commercial break on your show, On Point.
Hey guys, my name is Michael Grajales. I'm the head chef here at Mondo's Pizzeria. We're located in Trial Farm Village on the Philip Goldson Highway heading towards Corozal on your left hand side. We at Mondo's have different types of food. Not only do we do pizzas, but we also do burgers, wings, Italian pastas, and also chicken tenders. With the different types of pizzas we have the smallest ranging from our 12 inches to our extra large, which is in 20 inches. Now the types of pizza we have regular pepperoni, Hawaiian, meat lovers, vegetarians, shrimp, buffalo chicken or barbecue chicken. Now we all know that due to the pandemic, we're not allowed to dine in as usual. But as the pandemic is over and everything's all cleared out, you're more than welcome to come in and dine in with us. And so our opening hours for now is from 10 in the morning to 10 in the night. If you're ever interested, we also do deliveries for you so you don't have to move, or you can always come pick up. We're available on WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram. You're always free to share your comments and order us online. Thank you very much. I hope you guys all stay safe and God bless.
Monchi for Orange Walk North.
I'm here because families matter and because we need to do things differently. Our education must be relevant and it must seriously address the needs of our nation today and prepare our young people for the realities of tomorrow. We want to build a culture of learning that will change us, so that we can go out and change our families, communities, and yes, change this nation. I am laser focused on the Healthy Start feeding program, laser focused on the Education Loan Fund, the Teacher and Learning Institute, the Rural Education Grant, the harnessing of technology for our benefit, and laser focused on making sure that our students are at the center of learning.
Welcome back to this second segment of your show, On Point. In the first edition of this show, I mentioned that the People's United Party had launched the education policy and the health policy for Belizeans when we make government. I also said that in the following editions, I will delve more into the policies themselves. So last week I spoke a little more in detail about the education policy, And in this segment, I will speak in more detail about the health policy. But first, I will begin with some statistics that are relevant to the health issue here in Belize. Belize has a population of, we all know, about 400,000 people. The average life expectancy is estimated at 72 years for males and 74 years for females. So females live longer. A man like they beat up themselves. Yeah, females live longer. Our population is mostly young people, with 35.6% under the age of 15 years and 53.7% of over 20 years of age. Infant mortality is at 12.8 for every 1,000. Higher mortality rates are in the southern region of the country, and there is also an increasing prevalence of non-communicable diseases such as diabetes, type 2, heart disease, cancer, homicides, road traffic accidents. And we all know that, all these things affect the productivity of our nation, because in the workplace it increases absenteeism and low productivity. And there are two things that stand out here. One is the prevalence of these diseases I just mentioned, and two is the very deteriorated state in which our healthcare system is in, our hospitals. The hospitals are understaffed. The staff, the doctors and the nurses, they do their best and they're overworked. And they don't have enough personnel to be helping them take on the load, the workload. They are very poorly equipped. The buildings, many of the buildings are deteriorated. We all saw the famous episodes of the raccoon in the hospital and the rats in the hospital. I think that was in the Belmopan Hospital, Western Regional Hospital. And it's a shame and it's sad for our country, and something has to be done about that. We have to take these things seriously, because your health is of utmost importance. Your health is of priority and great importance to us in the People's United Party. To turn this situation around, the next PUP government will promote health as a basic human right, where the main goal is universal health care for the entire population. It will bring out the best of the public and private sectors and non-governmental organizations to contribute to the short and long-term quality, efficiency, and financial sustainability of the system. Our health sector will not only be sustainable, but will contribute to the country's economic growth and sustainable human development, where access to quality healthcare services and access to safe, effective, quality and affordable essential medicines will be granted. Así que, señoras y señores, el próximo gobierno del Partido Unido del Pueblo reconocerá y promoverá su salud, tu salud, como un derecho humano básico, y trabajaremos a hacer el sistema de salud un sistema universal, con acceso, que todos tengan acceso a cuidado de salud, a atención médica de buena calidad y que sea efectiva y eficiente. So before I get into the details of our plan, I want to go into this moment of humor. It's new to the show, and this is the moment of humor on your show, On Point.
believe different that you can do from Mr. Vega?
I would say that,
Welcome back to your show On Point. I stated that I will go into more detail on the plans of the People's United Party as in their health policy. So these are the specific actions that are proposed. 1. The long-awaited rollout of the National Health Insurance Program to the entire nation will be done within the first term in government. This will guarantee optimum primary health care and management of our most frequent, expensive, and devastating diseases attacking our nation, such as COVID-19, dengue, diabetes, hypertension, heart attack, cancer, HIV, to name a few. Nuestra propuesta es de establecer el seguro de salud popular para todos aquí en Belice, en nuestra nación, durante nuestros primeros 5 años en gobierno, para asegurarles de que tengan la atención de óptima calidad para combatir las enfermedades de que padecen ciertas personas en nuestra población en el país de Belice. The Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital, as the premier and national referral hospital, is one of the main pillars of our national health system. All health facilities will be upgraded, and essential equipment and supplies will be provided with state-of-the-art technology to deliver health care with minimal invasive surgery as laparoscopy, endoscopy, thereby minimizing long hospital stay. An additional wing will be constructed at the KHMH to provide enhanced specialized services of the heart, kidney, brain, lungs, and those suffering from cancer, expanding our present healthcare services which our country needs now. Also, a public health center for disease control will be established in the most accessible location. Todos conocemos que el Hospital de Belice, el Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital, es el hospital principal donde vamos cuando hay casos bastante graves que no se pueden tratar en los hospitales de los distritos. Entonces, el Partido Unido del Pueblo asegurará que ese hospital sea bien equipado, con los equipos necesarios para brindarles las atenciones modernas. Serán equipos modernos para tratarle con medicina moderna, para hacerles recuperar más pronto y sin tantas laceraciones o cortadas, como dicen, a sus cuerpos, especialmente cuando se hacen cirugías. En el Carl Huchner se construirá una nueva adición al hospital presente y en ese centro se van a especializar en el tratamiento de malezas o de enfermedades que trata con el corazón, el riñón, el cerebro, los pulmones y también hasta el cáncer. Así que vamos a expandir el trato de medicina, de atención médica para el pueblo beliceño. A PUP government will construct a new health facility in Punta Gorda and Belmopan. The construction of these facilities will address the problems of the severely dilapidated infrastructure of the Toledo Hospital and Belmopan Health Facility. Also, A well-designed community hospital will be constructed in San Pedro and Burgess Key with the aim of improving the services to all pregnant and women and newborn babies, providing excellent quality and accessible maternal services and other secondary services in that important community. Un gobierno del Partido Unido del Pueblo construirá los hospitales en Punta Gorda y en Belmopan. Y si se recuerdan, me referí anteriormente al hospital de Belmopan, donde habían raccoons, ¿no? Mapaches adentro del hospital, y también los ratones y ratas ahí en Belmopan, ¿no? Entonces, un gobierno del Partido Unido del Pueblo atenderá eso y construirá hospitales en Punta Gorda y Belmopan, y también en la isla bonita de San Pedro, ahí que es el centro del turismo en la ciudad, en el país de Belice. Todavía no hay un hospital. Este gobierno gasta millones y millones de dólares en cosas que ni lo ven, o carreteras que se van donde nadie vive, como el camino de Caracol, pero al mismo tiempo no pudieron construir un hospital en San Pedro, que es una destinación turística muy popular. Y 5. Fully equipped mobile clinics for the elderly population will be created in each district, improving the accessibility of healthcare to our aging population. Clínicas móviles. Vamos a tener clínicas móviles con un gobierno del PUP, del Partido Unido del Pueblo. Vamos a implementar el sistema de clínicas móviles que estén bien equipados. Estas clínicas móviles van a ir a través de todo el país, a las aldeas especialmente, a las aldeas, para darles servicio a todos, especialmente a la gente de edad, a nuestros abuelitos, nuestros tatitos, abuelitas, nuestras mamás, papás, que ya están de edad, que tal vez ya no pueden moverse mucho, ya no pueden subirse en el autobús, les cuesta viajar, no pueden venir aquí al pueblo y estar tomando taxis. Todo eso ya no va a ser un problema, porque vamos a tener las clínicas móviles en todas las aldeas, atendiendo a esas personas que tienen esa necesidad de atención médica, pero no tienen dificultades en llegar al hospital en el pueblo principal, en su distrito. En nuestro caso, tienen problemas llegar al pueblo de Orange Rock porque no pueden subirse en el bus y no pueden estar viajando. Así que eso va a ser un gran mejoramiento en el sistema médico con esta propuesta y este plan del Partido Unido del Pueblo. A national health body where people can seek assistance and response to complaints of inadequate health service will be established. The PUP will institute a patient's bill of rights that will stress the key role patients play in staying healthy by laying out rights and responsibilities for all patients and healthcare providers. This will assist in the monitoring and evaluation of health services given to all Belizeans. Se formará una comitiva, un cuerpo, donde la población, ustedes los ciudadanos, como digamos clientes de los hospitales, podrán poner sus quejas con esta comitiva, con este cuerpo, con ende de mejorar el sistema de salud, el servicio que se les brinda a ustedes en este sistema de salud. También se desarrollará una carta de derechos para ustedes como pacientes, para que ustedes sepan sus derechos, igual como también los doctores y las enfermeras, todos van a saber, van a conocer sus derechos, y conociendo nuestros derechos ya vivimos una vida más cómoda y más segura, porque conocemos nuestros derechos en el sistema médico. Así que eso es va a ser otro gran avance en nuestro sistema de salud. A strategic investment will be made in the health workforce. At the primary and secondary levels, there is a shortage of primary health care providers, of doctors and nurses needed to provide adequate coverage to some essential interventions and core SDG-related health services. Thus, an in-depth analysis of low motivation and retention of graduated Belizean nurses will be conducted, and a structured approach will be implemented for the nurse training program, since ad hoc training sessions are not sufficient to fill gaps in the nursing field. Así que se hará un estudio para motivar a los que trabajan a las enfermeras, los enfermeros, especialmente que trabajan en el sector de salud pública, porque hay problema con la retención de ellos y la escasez. Así que se hará un esfuerzo, un estudio y una inversión para atraer más enfermeros, más trabajadores en el sector de salud, para así poder proveer mejor salud a todos los ciudadanos. Because health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, a mental health policy will be implemented to strengthen the community mental health services. This policy will address the care of acute psychotic crisis, the forensic psychiatry, and the basic antipsychotic medications. Todos sabemos que la enfermedades también involucra enfermedades de la mente, enfermedad mental, que muchas veces nosotros lo pasamos por alto, no le hacemos caso. El Partido Unido del Pueblo va a implementar una póliza para tratar también con casos de enfermedades mentales. From the lessons learned during the so-called first wave of COVID-19, the policy will ensure an adequate supply of essential materials, that is personal protective equipment, testing kits and reagents, therapeutics, etc., as well as the availability of proper guidelines and protocols for health professionals in the public and private sectors to do their work with confidence and without fear of being infected. Todos sabemos que los hospitales ahorita no están bien equipados, están pobremente equipados. El Partido Unido del Pueblo asegurará que estén bien equipados los hospitales, que tengan todas las medicinas que necesitan. Ahorita, cuando vas al hospital, ahorita tienes que salir a comprar tu medicina. Eso ya no va a pasar. Vamos a asegurar que haya las medicinas básicas para ahí en los hospitales. También que tengan buenos equipos personales los doctores y los enfermeros, especialmente con tratar el COVID, el virus del COVID-19. Tenemos que asegurar que los doctores y los enfermeros y todos que están en el hospital estén bien protegidos del contagio de eso. Así que eso son unos detalles del plan del Partido Unido del Pueblo de salud. Y pues con esto culminamos este segundo segmento aquí en su show popular Al Punto.
Monchi for Orange Walk North.
Hola, soy Ramón Cervantes, también conocido como Monchi. Por mucho tiempo, este gobierno ha abandonado el sistema de salud de los beliceños. Hicieron promesas que nunca cumplieron. Nuestra gente sufre. Y esto tiene que parar ahora. En las comunidades de Orange Walk Norte, como San José, San Juan, San Antonio, San Román, San Luis y otras, hay estaciones de salud que existen desde hace mucho tiempo, pero no hay doctores, no hay enfermeras, ni equipo médico para atender a la gente. Cuando la gente y sus niños se enferman y necesitan atención médica, tienen que viajar hasta el pueblo de Orange Walk y esperar horas largas para ser atendidos. El Partido Unido del Pueblo atenderá y compondrá el sistema de salud de Belice. El plan es verídico y el compromiso es sólido. Por eso, yo apoyo fuertemente nuestro plan de salud, Plan Belice. Con este plan y con el Partido Unido del Pueblo, todos ganamos.
El Partido Unido del Pueblo se compromete a construir un proyecto educativo que va a realizar en el país el ideal educativo de formar en Belice una niñez y juventud saludables, vigorosas y alegres. Formar una ciudadanía proactiva, participativa y responsable que realice la búsqueda para la aplicación de soluciones económicas, sociales y políticas en la búsqueda de una sociedad más justa y equitativa.
Welcome back to On Point. Bienvenidos una vez más al punto. La semana pasada, el viernes pasado, todos vimos la tragedia, cómo los Estados Unidos conmemoraba la pérdida de vidas cuando sufrieron de los ataques el 11 de septiembre 2001. Last Friday, we all saw how the United States of America was remembering the people, the brave and innocent people who lost their lives in the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks on the Twin Towers in New York City and the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. 3,000 people lost their lives. 3,000 innocent people. They were people that were just working in the offices or passing by on the street or doing their jobs, or they were just innocent people. And it's inconceivable that somebody would want to do something like that. Among those 3,000 people, there were people of 60 nationalities that lost their lives also, including a Belizean. As far as I know, one Belizean lost her life. Now, this is a very cruel act, and we join the United States of America in commemorating, in remembering these people who lost their lives, because we have a very strong connection with the United States of America. In fact, I think if not most, all of us or most of us have relatives living there. In another news item also, it was reported that in the rubble of the fallen buildings and the mangled iron, mangled steel, there was a flag of Belize, which was found by the police officers of the New York Police Department, the NYPD. And that flag apparently was was delivered to the Belize mission, and they sent it here to Belize. It would be interesting to know where that flag is at present. So, and I hope that the very fact that that flag survived, that it is a symbol of our Belizean tenacity and Belizean resilience. This brings to mind the issue of patriotism, nationalism, Belizean patriotism, Belizean nationalism. Where are we with that? Last week, I challenged the youth of our country to step up and stake your claim in the affairs of our nation, because this country is yours. You are the inheritors of this country. Today, I call on you and on everyone else, all Belizeans, to take a moment to reflect on your love, on your value, on your appreciation for our country, for our nation, for our only home, for the only country that we can call our home, which is our beloved Belize. Do we really love Belize? Or do we take the goodness of this country for granted? Let's start with the basics. Do you know your national anthem? Do you sing your national anthem in public events when we are called upon to do it? Do we know our history? Do we read our history? Do we know our national prayer? Do we pray our national prayer at public events or privately? Whether your answers to these questions are yes or no to any or all of them, we must realize that our love for our country, for our beloved Belize, must not just be a spoken love, but it must be a love that is developed, that is ingrained, that is infused in us, in every artery, in every cell, in every molecule. Our love for this country should be a vital part, a vital organ of our very being, of our very existence as Belizeans. And it should not be just an appendage that we can use whenever we need it. So let's make an effort to show our love for our country. And we can do it in various ways. I will not stand here and say, it's only in these ways, but I will speak about some that I see are ways in which we can show we love our country. And we must start with loving and respecting our fellow Belizeans, our fellow neighbors, our families, our co-workers. Treat each other with that respect. At work, we must ensure that every day we are the most productive that we have ever been, that we are more productive than the day before, that we shine in our work, in our jobs, that we make that effort to do our best every day. And I'm sure that you know many more ways of showing your love for Belize. This week, this September, on the 21st of September, it will be unique in that because of COVID-19, we have many of the norms of our lifestyles have changed with social distancing and mask wearing and avoiding contact. So there will not be any parades, carnivals, bacchanals, brahms, bashments. And so it is a good time for all of us to reflect on our country, on the love that we have for our country. Let's admire and appreciate everything. Our national anthem, if we don't know it, let's learn it. If we don't know to sing it, let's practice singing it. Our national prayer, let's learn it. Let's read our history. And then let's appreciate the beauty of our country. Let's appreciate our families, our neighbors, our streets, our trees, our rivers, our lagoons, our towns, our villages, our cities, our communities. Let's appreciate all of those beautiful things, our cultures that make us Belize, that make us this rich country, this rich people. And let us give thanks for our freedom in this country. And also, let us give eternal gratitude to our Almighty Creator, that of all the places of all the world, our home is beautiful Belize. Happy Independence Day to all Belizeans at home and abroad. May God bless us as a nation, and may we prosper in the future, now and in the future. With this, I would like to take this opportunity also, since we are talking about birthdays. Today is my mother's birthday, Mrs. Vilma Cervantes. And I would like to tell her today, happy birthday, Mom. Have a long and blessed life. And I love you, Mom. Happy birthday to you. Enjoy your day. With this, we go to another commercial break and come back to your last segment of Al Punto.
Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the.
Bienvenidos una vez más a este segmento final de su show Al Punto. En español ahora quiero desearle a mi mamá feliz cumpleaños, mamá. La señora Vilma Cervantes, que muchos conocen, una gran señora con un gran corazón, mucha compasión y mucha comprensión. Gracias por todo que ha hecho por mí y por otros, ma. La quiero mucho, la amo, que cumpla muchos años más. Cumpleaños feliz, cumpleaños feliz. Happy birthday, dear mom. Cumpleaños feliz. Que Dios la siga bendiciendo, mamá. Y también quisiera darle las gracias a todos los que hicieron sus comentarios de apoyo en este su show Al Punto. Recuerden, pónganle su like y también compártanlo, hagan share. Estamos en YouTube, estamos en Facebook Y en radio estamos en Power FM 95.5 en la radio. Así que gracias a todos ustedes por estar con nosotros, por sintonizar con nosotros y por a esos apoyos, las porras que me mandan. Muchas gracias, muy agradecido por eso. Y quisiera también felicitar a June Chuk, Virgilio Chuk Jr. y también a Leida, que son los papás orgullosos de gemelos que nacieron anoche. Así que muchas felicidades, que Dios les bendiga y cuiden a esos bebés y asegúrenlos que los nutran bien y también y que sean hacer buenos beliceños, buenos ciudadanos. Yo sé que van a hacer un buen trabajo y felicidades a todos ustedes. Y con esto digo buenas noches y muchas gracias por estar con nosotros en su show Al Punto.